Somewhere in the bowels of the city that never sleeps,
Kevin McCullough, radio host with Salem Media,
is a man also not sleeping.
Syndicated radio talk show host Kevin McCullough.
And that guy would like a word with you.
Many of you know him as Vostradamus.
Of course that Kevin show is going to be great. The only thing that could be greater, of course, would be that Donald show. But we don't have that, so we have that Kevin show.
Featuring the music of Dick Tunney and the Dream in Color Orchestra. And tonight, he's New York's most beloved billionaire, John Katzimatidis. Look out, ladies. Actor Colin Ford is in the house. She's the political personality, Sky Ostriker. She went 200 miles on horseback in the Italian countryside, Christian Kelly. And from Times Square himself, the Andrea Bocelli. And now, from Times Square, where his official status as Alvin Bragg's donut supplier is now in jeopardy, here's that Kevin.
I have no knowledge of any kind of donuts that Alvin Bragg has ever asked for or needed, nor would I be inclined to supply that feller any more of those high-calorie sugared sweets. If you just take a look at his picture, I think it's pretty clear to see he doesn't need any. Welcome to Saturday. Dave, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. You can't stop saying this stuff that's just patently false, especially in this era. You're going to get me indicted, and I didn't even do anything. Anyway, we've got a big show for you coming up tonight. We're going to jump on the news real quick, give you kind of the latest on the big story of the end of the week, which is, of course, what's going on with the Trump indictment. But I want to. Let me give you the rundown real quick. John Katzimatidis is going to be here. A lot of you outside of New York don't know who John Katzimatidis is, but he is really a well-loved figure here in the city. And he's just written this book that is just really rather amazing. And it's all about lessons of leadership. And he came from literally nowhere in the Aegean Sea, this little tiny island off the coast of Greece. And what he has turned himself into and really what he's done to help the city in so many respects is just wonderful. So I'm very honored to have him with us tonight. We've also got Colin Ford. Ladies, have you heard of the Karen Kingsbury new show, 1,000 Tomorrows? Cody Gunner, I think, is the name of the character. He's a cowboy, drives a Ford. Colin Ford, get it? Hello, I'm Ford. Colin Ford. Pleased to meet you. Anyway, he's going to be with us later this hour. I know your heart will go pitter patter. Great family entertainment on our friends over at PureFlix. Glad that they're able to join us tonight. Sky Ostriker is an interesting guest tonight. She is the political personality, and she and Andrea Katzimatidis, John's daughter, who works with the Manhattan Republicans. Sky was she used to be known as the fashionable Democrat because there's only one, but she's now the political personality. And they had a contest in the last presidential cycle as to which sushi roll, the Biden roll, the Trump roll, would win. And one of the ways that you know that the 2020 election was stolen flat out was because the Trump roll won. And it should have been determinative or something like that. Maybe the Biden roll won. I don't remember. Anyway, she's going to join us. I want to have a regular interaction with her because she's one of the more reasonable, if not the only reasonable Democrat here in the city. And she's willing to evaluate things from a common sense perspective. And I just want to see what she thinks about the coming presidential cycle and what we're going to do there as a nation. Christian Kelly is with us tonight. Kristen was part of the production team that went with Andrea Bocelli. I told you last weekend about this movie, 200 miles on horseback through the Italian countryside, from Rome up to his home in Laodicea. And what a beautiful scene this entire movie is. You got to see it. She's going to give us some behind the scenes interest on that. And then Andrea Bocelli himself from Times Square, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. It doesn't get any better than that. So stick around. This week, I want to say thank you real quickly to my friends at the Broadway Association. They invited me to be at their first gala that they've held here in the city since the pandemic has hit us 3 years on now. And you know that Broadway was shut down, and it was really a very terrible time for the city. The productions weren't in operation. The actors, a lot of the stagehands, everything else out of work, and had to find other ways and means to provide for their families, etc. Well, Broadway's been back now for at least a good year. The Tonys were live last year. They're going to be a great production this year. But the Broadway Association is the oldest, one of the oldest civic organizations in New York history. I believe there's something like 116 years old in the making, and they invited me to attend their gala and then to kind of bid farewell to Phantom of the Opera, which is leaving us this month. It's April this month. It is leaving us after 35 years on Broadway, going out of production. In fact, they're taking the chandelier out of the Majestic Theater. It will go into storage somewhere. All of the chandeliers in the Phantom productions are named different things. I don't remember what this one's name is, but they're going to take it out, put it in storage. We don't know if or when Phantom will be back, but it's kind of a sad thing, and tickets are almost impossible to get. Everyone is clamoring for them as we are making the final run of show before the end of the month here in New York City. So I want to say thanks to them for allowing us to be there. Saw Phantom again. It's as good as it's ever been. What a powerful story. Continues to be one of the favorite Broadway shows of The Bride, My Lovely Bride and I. So welcome to New York. Glad you're with us tonight. As you know, the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, decided to indict President Trump on Thursday. Now, he did it in a sealed indictment, which means until a judge unseals it, probably next Tuesday, nobody's going to know what the actual charges are. I think that a little bit of the reason why that's the case is because the case is so, it's just utterly bad. And you know it's bad when even the people that aren't so high on President Trump's, best wishes list right now are saying it. His former vice president, Mike Pence, for example.
Even though this has been in the news over the last 2 weeks, the media's obsession about these investigations into Donald Trump, I think is being lost on the American people who are struggling under the weight of the failed policies of the Biden administration. The American people are going to look at this, see it as one more example of the criminalization of politics in this country.
Okay. Again, not his favorite person at the moment, but neither is his former Attorney General, Bill Barr, who had this to say about the case.
And so there's a little bit of speculation involved. But based on the news reports, if they're accurate, this is an abomination. It's the epitome of the abuse of prosecutorial power to bring a case that would not be brought against anyone else. They are going after the man, not a crime. And the legal theory, frankly, is pathetically weak. The case is held together by, chicken wire and paper clips and rubber bands. It's
wow. That's Trump's former attorney general. This case is bad too because the current attorney general, Merrick Garland, decided to decline the case. The Federal Election Commission, which supposedly this is a felony charge that DA Bragg is bringing, that violated campaign finance law, but the Federal Election Commission looked at the case and said, no, we don't see anything there. You had the Southern District of New York take a look at it. They passed. You had Alvin Bragg's office previously take a look at it and pass. You had people all over the place that looked at this case and said, I don't know. It's just not what I see. I just don't see anything here. There's nothing. Where's the where there? So having said that, even a couple of more interesting perspectives. Ron DeSantis who's not on his wish list either right now, says he will refuse any extradition request after the Trump indictment, citing questionable circumstances. Of course, the left just went nuts. How can he say that? He's the governor. He has to cooperate. Friends, we are living in weird times, but we will follow this and all of the breaking news. Keep it here at That Kevin Show. John Katsimatidis when we return.